Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whensoever you're watching this video. Welcome to the 10th video of electrostatics. Today we'll be discussing about Gauss theorem and its numericals. To start off with it, let me first of all start off with certain properties of conductors we're using over here. Properties of conductor when they are in electric field or behavior of an electric conductor in electric field. To remember this thing, just remember this diagram. It will be very convenient for you. I am drawing all the charges on the surface, all the charges on the surface. Then inside the charge is 0, inside the electric field as 0, then electric field making an angle of 90 degree, electric field making an angle of 90 degree with the surface of it, and then I'm writing V1, V2, V3, so on. I'm writing V1 is equal to V2 is equal to V3. So 4 points for behavior of properties of conductor in electric field. This is specifying, this diagram itself is specifying. Very first property that whensoever you charge any conductor, whether it's a hollow conductor or the solid conductor, no charge will reside inside. The entire charge will come on the surface. So the thing is, the charge inside a conductor is 0. Very first thing, charge inside a conductor is 0. Obviously, in case charge inside the electric conductor is 0, so electric field inside the conductor is also 0. Electric field inside conductor is also 0. Is 0. Okay. Third thing is all charge given to conductor resides on its surface, as I've shown over here, that the charge has come on the surface. Fourth point which we are going to have, fourth is at any point on surface of conductor, electric field is perpendicular to it. Last point, fifth point, that the outer surface, the electric potential on surface is constant. That means the entire surface of this conductor is behaving like an equipotential surface. Mind you, whether the conductor is a hollow one or a solid one, these properties will remain same. Very first thing, charge inside the conductor is 0. Second, electric field inside the conductor is 0. Third, all charge given to conductor resides on its surface only. Fourth, at any point on surface of conductor, electric field is perpendicular to it. And finally, electric potential on surface is constant. That means this whole thing is behaving like an equipotential surface. If I take electric potential at this point, anywhere if I take, all these things will be same. It is equal to V4 is equal to V5, whatsoever it is. Okay? Now we come to the numericals based on Gauss theorem. In the previous class, we have discussed about Gauss theorem, its application, whatsoever are in the CBSE syllabus. Now I'm just going to quickly summarize and write the formulas used over here in today's class. Very first formula which we are going to use, very first thing is integration of E dot ds is equal to phi E, which is equal to cube epsilon. That's the Gauss theorem itself. Second thing is application of this Gauss theorem in case of a wire, thin wire, electric field due to thin wire. It is equal to lambda divided by 2 pi epsilon naught r. Third, electric field due to a charge sheet, it is equal to sigma by epsilon naught. The case is sigma by 2 epsilon naught for thin one, and in case it is thick or considerable thickness, it is just this much. Fourth formula which we are going to use, it is electric field due to a shell. We'll take three cases. Very first thing is when it is outside, it becomes sigma r square divided by small r square epsilon naught. This is outside the shell, outside. In case it is sigma by epsilon naught, then it is surface and is equal to 0 inside. You should also remember the graph for it. If I have a graph for this between electric field and R, it will be like this. In this case, it is constant, so electric field is like this because it is not depending upon the distance at which we have to find out the electric field. In this case, I am combining all the cases together. This is electric field, this is R. I am writing the values in case R is equal to capital R. Till 0 till capital R, electric field is nothing there. It is 0. Then at this point it starts and then it keeps on decreasing as we go down. That means this might be 2R, this might be 3R and so on. So it will keep on decreasing. This is that value. Electric field actually starts from here only because inside when the distance is between 0 and R. In case the shell is, you have to find out the electric field inside the shell. Then it is 0. In case it is after that, then it keeps on decreasing. It is maximum at small r is equal to capital R. That means on the surface of the shell. Okay. Now we come to numericals based on it. Okay, as per our rule, we'll start from a very easy one, then we keep on going to difficult ones. So I'll start with the first numerical. Very thing, given a uniform electric field, question is, given a uniform electric field E equal to 4 into 10 raised to power 3, it's in vectors, I Newton per Coulomb. That means it is along the x direction. Find the flux of this field through a square of side 5 centimeter whose plane is parallel to YZ plane. Second part also, what would be the flux? This is the A part of it. A part. B part is what would be the flux? If the same plane makes an angle of 30 degrees with x-axis. Okay. Given a uniform electric field E 4 into 10 raised to power 3 I Newton per Coulomb. Let's think about it in the Cartesian plane. Suppose this is my x-axis, this is my y-axis, this is my z-axis. Where is the electric field? The electric field is in this direction. It is going like this. Electric field is E is equal to 4 into 10 raised to power 3 I. It is going in this direction exactly along the x-axis like this because this is just only I component over here. Newton per Coulomb. Okay. Now find the flux of this field through a square of side 5 centimeter whose plane is parallel to the YZ plane. Where is the YZ plane? YZ plane is like this. That means the plane which is going like this. Okay. So where is my YZ plane? YZ plane is like this. YZ plane is like this. Along the YZ plane we have a square whose side is equal to 5 centimeter. Okay. All sides are 5 centimeter. It's a square 5 centimeter. So the question is now, find the flux of this field through a square of side 5 centimeter whose plane is parallel to the YZ plane. In this case, first of all, I find out the area. What is area? Area is equal to 5 square, but it is 5 centimeters. So 5 into 10 raised to minus 2 whole square, which becomes 25 into 10 raised to minus 4 meter square. Electric field also I have. Electric field is equal to 4 into 10 raised to power 3 Newton per coulomb. Just taking the magnitude. Now in this case, what is the electric flux? Here the electric flux is similar because what is the direction of area? Area is always making an angle of normal with it. The direction of area is like this. That means here E is parallel to area. The angle between the two is 0 degree. As a result of it, in this case, flux is equal to E dot A, which is equal to magnitude of E, magnitude of A, cos of 0 degree. I am telling you again, this plane is like this. It looks as if it is making an angle of 90 degree. But the direction of area is always given by the normal coming out of it. So what is the normal coming out of it? The normal coming out of it is like this. That means electric field and this area, they are making an angle of 0 degree with each other. So let me substitute these values now. 4 into 10 raised to power 3 is the value for electric field in SI units, and this is 25 into 10 raised to power minus 4 in SI units. Cos 0 is 1, so this one. 25 into 4, 100. 100 into 10 raised to power minus 1. Then it becomes how much? 10 Newton meter square per coulomb. This becomes the value of flux. Is this clear? Okay. Now I come to the second part of the question. Second part of the question is, what would be the flux if the same plane makes an angle of 30 degree with x-axis? Now there's a change now. Previously it was not making, this plane was making an angle of 90 degree with the axis. If you see this thing, it was making an angle of 90 degree with it. This angle was actually a 90 degree angle. It was making an angle of 90 degree. This plane was making. Now in this case, they are saying the plane makes an angle of 30 degree with the x-axis. Let's see what is the change in the diagram now. Second part I am doing now. In the second part, B part, again this is our Cartesian plane. This is x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. Now they are saying this plane is making an angle of 90 degree. That means this plane is inclined like this. This plane is inclined like this. It is making an angle of, okay, it should be a square. It is making an angle of 30 degree with this. 30 degree with this. But what is the actual direction of this plane? It is like this. So this whole thing is equal to 90 degree. 90 degree. But this is 30 degree. So what is this normal making with the x-axis? I repeat again. This plane, in this question they are saying it is making an angle of 30 degree with the x-axis. This is a plane. But actually what is the direction of this plane? The area has an angle of, the direction of this area is given by 90 degree over here. This is the direction of the area. This whole thing is 90 degree. So what is this theta in this case? You say 30 degree plus theta is equal to 90 degree. That means theta is equal to 90 minus 30, which is equal to 60 degree. That means in the second case, the angle between E and B, E and A is nothing but 60 degree. So we will have to change this thing. Formula remains same. E dot A is equal to magnitude of E, magnitude of A, cos of now here 60 degree. So it becomes again magnitude of E, magnitude of A, cos of 60 degree is half. So it becomes what we have written? Yes, 4 into 10 raised to power 3 into 25 into 10 raised to minus 4 into half, which becomes equal to 5 Newton meter square per coulomb. Okay. Now I come to the next question. In the next question, I'm considering again an electric field which has got components in all directions. So next question is electric field in space is given by E equal to 50I plus 30J plus 80K. Calculate the electric flux through a square surface of area 200 meter square when it is kept A part XY plane, B part YZ plane, and C part is XZ plane. That means I'm having three planes. In the three planes, I have to calculate it. A particular square is there which is kept like this. Now, if I talk about the electric field, it has got components along different directions. If I say this is x-axis, this is y-axis, and this is z-axis, along x-axis, the electric field which I am having is around 50. I'll just write the unit, Newton per coulomb. What is this Newton? So along this, it is 50 Newton per coulomb along x-axis. Along y-axis, if I see, it is 30 Newton per coulomb because it is J component. Along z-axis, it is 80 Newton per coulomb. These are the different components of the electric field along different directions. I'll just call it as Ex, this is Ey, and this is Ez component. So these are the different components along the three different axes. Calculate the electric field through a square surface of area 200 meter square when it is kept in XY plane. Now just imagine that if you are keeping the electric field in XY plane. XY plane means you are keeping it like this. XY plane means you are keeping it like this, XY plane. If I am keeping it in XY plane, then the electric field, the case where electric field and the area are normal to each other, it becomes a Z component. Okay. If I am keeping the area like this, then the component of the electric field which will pass through it and making an angle of exactly 90 degree with it will be the EZ component. If I talk about YZ plane is this plane. In this case, the component which will electric field is EX. And if I talk about XZ plane means this plane. Then it will be the EY component. So I'll just mention this thing. First part is for YZ plane, phi1 is equal to E dot ds, and E is, I'll just write full thing, 50I plus 30J plus 80K, but ds is now how much? Dot 200 meters square, 200, I'm just writing the magnitude. And which 200? It is in which plane? XY plane. XY plane means this. So which component I need to add? The K component. The direction of the surface, if I draw a surface like this, ये surface बन गया किस plane में? XY plane में. इसका direction कहाँ है? बाहर की तरफ. It is matching with which one? Z axis. ये अगर हम XY plane बनाते हैं, XY plane हमारा ये बन गया, इसका डायरेक्शन कहाँ होगा? इसका डायरेक्शन ऐसे बाहर की तरफ होगा. तो इसलिए it is 200 and so it becomes what? Rest it is dot product, so I need to multiply this K component with only this. It becomes 16,000 Newton meter square per coulomb. Now let's see the second part. YZ plane. If I am talking about YZ plane, which plane is this? YZ plane is this plane. यानी कि ये जो ऐसे आ रहा है, ठीक है? तो इसमें what is the direction of this? Direction of this is along the x-axis. तो दोबारा वही चीज, electric field is E dot ds. Here which component is useful? 50I, 30J plus 80k, and the electric, as I discussed, this is yz plane. yz plane का डायरेक्शन कहाँ होगा? along positive x axis. तो ये हो जाएगा डॉट अगेन 200 I. So this becomes 5 to the 10,000 Newton meter square per. Third part is phi 3. Again the formula is E dot ds. E is equal to 50I plus 30J plus 80K. and अब यहाँ पर इलेक्ट्रिक उसका एरिया का देखते हैं. Which plane is this? XZ. XZ means this plane. ये वाला plane. This plane. इसका एरिया क्या होगा? XZ का एरिया. इसका डायरेक्शन क्या होगा? Coming out like this, upwards in y-axis. So I should say 200 and J complement. यानी कि कितना हो गया? 3 2 6 6,000 Newton meter square per inch. Okay, according to the plane we have decided the direction of area. Electric field वही fixed quantity, it has got components in different direction, but xy का दोबारा बता रहे हैं, xy का डायरेक्शन क्या है? xy प्लेन ये है, इसका डायरेक्शन कमिंग आउट लाइक दिस, दैट मीन्स अलोंग z एक्सिस. yz का लेते हैं, yz जो प्लेन है वो इधर है, दैट मीन्स लाइक दिस, उसका डायरेक्शन क्या हो जाएगा? x एक्सिस. अब नेक्स्ट लास्ट क्या था? xz प्लेन वो नीचे है, तो इट्स कॉम्पोनेंट गोइंग अप y एक्सिस. We come to the next question now. I hope it is clear. Now I come to the next question. A point charge. Question is, a point charge 10 microcoulombs is kept inside a cube of side 20 centimeter at a distance of 10 centimeter from each face. That means if I take it like this, where is it kept? अगर क्यूब रखा है हमने इस तरह से, let's say I've kept a cube like this. Each side the cube is 20 centimeter and a charge is kept like this. वो हर साइड से, हर अपनी एज से कितने सेंटीमीटर है? 10 सेंटीमीटर के डिस्टेंस पर. Now question is, find the electric flux through the phase which is in YZ plane. You have to find out the electric flux. This is a charge. Charge is equal to 10 microcoulombs. It is present at this place. 10 microcoulombs is the charge. And I'm talking about this x-axis, this is y-axis, this is z-axis. इसमें जो find the electric flux through the phase which is in YZ plane. In the, I'll just mention which YZ plane. YZ plane. In the right, towards right. इतना सब कुछ पूछ लिया. Yes, they are asking a point charge 10 microcoulomb is kept inside a cube of side 20 centimeter at a distance of 10 centimeter from each phase. Find the electric flux to the phase which is in YZ plane towards right. Towards right means this side. I have to talk about this phase. How many phases does a cube has? It has got 6 phases. I will not go by all this data. I'll just go by my basic formula. Phi E is equal to Q by epsilon. But it has got how many phases? 6 phases. So only 1/6 of it is considerable because I'm talking about only one of the phases. If I was considering 2 phases, 3 phases, this thing would have got multiplied. But only 1/6 of it is, so Q1 by 6 into 10 into 10 raised to minus 6. Value of epsilon naught is 8.854 into 10 raised to minus 12. We'll solve this thing, and what so we get as the answer? We get it as 1.88 into 10 raised to 5 Newton meter square per coulomb. Okay. Okay.